Hello there everyone, welcome to the YouTube video here on the channel. My name is Emily. Today we find ourselves here at Turnov on the Liberec to Starabaca route. Fuck! Start speaking Czech there, by Dovetail Games. In case anyone wants to start speaking Czech, ano umím česky, tak pojďme na tohle video budu nahrávat angličtině, protože anglicky umím mnohem lépe, ale mám několik minimálně desítek kilometrů za Brejlí, takže já nemám tak dobré zkušenosti jako někteří z vás. Sorry about that, that was my little Czech intro. So, as you guys know, I'm half Czech. I was really excited when I heard this route announced. And I think the 750 is just really iconic Czech train, and I'm really glad it's in the game. I will just say my standard opinion of this route, it is absolutely outstanding. For a first attempt for Train Sim World, it's great. It's some really experienced devs running it. It's very good value for money in my opinion. 33 quid for basically a route with 2 new engines and a bunch of wagons. The wagons are mainly reskins. There's one original wagon, one coach, which is original as well. But it's still pretty cool. Anyway, hopping in the cab. Key on the desk. I always need my HUD for this bit. There we go. And then what we'll do is put the brake into release position, set the loco brake to hold us, press H to turn my headlights on, shift H to turn my headlights on, sorry, and then set my 2 marker lights. That gives us the triangle that we need for to be able to run this train. There we go, I'll just tweak the audio slightly. We're using LS90 today, so do Control Enter to enable that. Yeah, LVZ, sorry. So that's on, that's forward, those are set to the left, which is the right. So really quickly, just to show you, the way you actually turn the LVZ on is you use this control here, but we're not going to be doing that today, because I already set up using the key command. I have to say, like, the level of detail on these locos is great, even stuff like, to tip the open the cab, you've got to tip the chair forward. Interestingly, I'm not sure how my chair's attached, because you've got to move my chair out of the way to get the cab door open, and I'm like, is that just on a frame on the floor and you hope it's heavy enough not to move? Because like loco banter, I would tip that over all the time. Also, you've got things like the electrical cupboards, they open up. So that's your main battery breaker there, I know that one offhand. But it's a lovely representation of the loco. And we'll go from, obviously get it going. You can see you've got 750-224-8 on the front. So the way the numbering works over here, 750, 224, 8. So the dash 8 is basically the number of updates it's had, and then got 252-9 on the rear. What will working cables function? Signal's pulled off. Let's get up and go. Open the doors so you can hear the noise of the engine as I make it work. No hair for the female pads, which is a shame. We're going up to 40. Now, there's a key note here that the 40 post, you know what I'm actually going to do here? I'm going to see if I can get it to catch the code. So, start speed is 40, but we go quite a long incline leaving Turnov, and basically we need to get the loco to pick up speed ASAP. So we're knocking to idle a bit early, but then when we get onto the main line, I'm going to absolutely go for it. That was the vigilance horn, that's my light blue light there. It's a bit easier to spot on this loco than it is on the 843. Open up effort. have also just turned the desk lights on. You can't tell, but I have. Yeah, instrument lights on, sorry. The amount of times you press the vigilance button on here is unbelievable. So you can see, we hit 100 there. You know what, I'm just going to get full power, let's go. So you can see engine RPMs are increased, ammeters climbing to follow. Although I'm 600 metre long train, and so I've only just covered one train length as we were departing up the hill here. And our first sort of point of interest that we need to be aware of stopping is Sikhrov, as that's a passing point in the single track section, and we'll be stopped there to let a passenger, or we're booked to stop there I should say, to let a passenger train past. So I've got the throttles wide open. You can see we are accelerating just about, but the sort of target acceleration, so it's 100 kph line speed, which we're legally allowed to do with this train. However, there's an 85 at the top of the incline, so I'm aiming for basically 80. And if we see 80 today, I'll be very impressed. Both locos are powering, but we're not going to see 80. I'll tell you that for free. So you can see basically this, so the liveries on these locos. The lead loco's got CD cargo liveries, logos. This would be a loco that's come over from České dráhy, and they basically just put the vinyls on it to show that it's no freight loco. The loco behind is in actual cargo livery, and that's got the cargo logos but none of the text of the branding factory, which is a shame. I absolutely one of my favourite passing viewpoints on this route actually, this. Just love how many cars I've got on. We are absolutely bucking it up this hill now. So my first couple of times of doing this, I was absolutely crawling up here at like 40. We can see we're only at 60, even though in theory we're legal for 85 up here. Now, yeah, so I can pretty much leave the throttles wide open until we need to stop for Sikhrov for our thingy point. When we're at Sikhrov, I'll do the cab tour there when we're stationary, so we can look at the cab and enjoy the little orchard there, or the cornfield. Very agricultural, obviously. That's this part of the route. When you've got the unprotected crossings like that with no barriers, there's no whistle boards, but I always like to hit the horns. So driving along here, it just reminds me how insane games are. Like, is this perfect? No. Are there things that could have done better? Absolutely. Like the shoulders of the ballast is a bit plain, stuff like that. But the character of this route is absolutely spot on, and the visuals are amazing. So obviously we're in 85 there, which we're not going to reach, don't worry. Like we're barely surpassing 60. And that's with brake off. Yeah. But the older viewers of the channel, so I'm just going to tweak the audio to show us how loud the train is. The older viewers of the channel will remember, you know, well, one of my earliest memories is Microsoft Flight Simulator 98, or Flight Simulator 98, and I was sort of dodging skyscrapers in Chicago because they hadn't modelled the entire world at that point, and the part of the world that I wanted to fly in, which was the northeast, and it was lines on a screen. It was glorified lines on a screen, right? And okay, I guess this is also lines on a screen, but it looks so real. And the light, it's just, like I say, little things that you know, that sort of take your immersions, like stuff down there. But broadly, though, it is absolutely bob on this. I may actually get some decent speed here. Yeah, we're at 85, but we come up on a tunnel soon, and that tunnel is where we need to start braking. But you can see that this will pick speed up eventually. It just shows you how long our train is. Going to do a little bit of a depth of field thing here, and no, oh, wrong button. FOV. Just get the lighting slightly changed so we get the light on the nose. That, oh, summer's afternoon, gorgeous. That's what dreams are made of. Right there. Now, I've got to go and drive the 145 next because I haven't recorded that video yet, even though you guys have seen it weeks ago, and I don't want to. I wish. So, I guess here's my wish: that there was more to this route in terms of gameplay. The limitation of branch lines is inherently they are small, and there's not much sort of potential in terms of stopping patterns and all that kind of shit. Like, you can do a fast run, you can do a slow run, you can do a freight if there is a freight, and that's it. Obviously in both directions. Whereas sort of main lines, there's a lot more variety, a lot more sort of variety of stock that goes through. I guess I could get Mentor Bond reinstalled and get the DMUs on here, but beyond that, you know, I just, yeah. My wish is that there was a little bit more. So in theory we can do 100 now. Speedo's barely climbed over 60. So you notice it clicks, it doesn't move smoothly, so it clicks when the electronics inside detect a speed change. Got a warning there for an upcoming thing, so there we go, chop it to idle, so the RPM's coming down, amps are off. Look how even the lighting affects. Oh, so nice. Like how the lighting of the gauges affects my view of the world. Bit of power just to keep us moving. And obviously the LVZ light on here is so much easier to spot as well. It was sort of down here on the 843 and a lot less noticeable. Whereas because you're looking into here when you're driving most of the time, you sort of just see it through your peripheral, the light disappear. You're not actually looking for the light to change effectively, you're just accepting that it's going to disappear. Uh-oh. Hang on. Yeah. Shows you how many attempts I've made at this. That I've put 755 kilometers on one of these. Sikhrov. But character-wise, that perfect. Actually reminds me a lot of the nursery school I went to. I hate it. So, they used to make us have an afternoon nap every day. And I have ADHD, that ain't happening. Like, I've never really been an afternoon nap person. I've only really started having afternoon naps since doing the early turns at work. Because I never used to sleep in the afternoon, never. But basically, it's the last sort of year that I've stopped being able to do that. Bear in mind, I'm 28 now. Right, off. Engine only position. Secure with that. Blow it off with that. There we go. So we are now at Sikroff. We're holding it with the loco brake on the 750. The rest of the train is going to sort of fan out behind us effectively. But we are on effectively level ground for most of the service. We're now waiting for the opposing service. We'll get let it go in about 4 minutes. Now, so we'll climb down, have a look around the. Actually, no, I said cab tour, didn't I? Cab tour. So you obviously climb up onto the loco. Engine room first. We'll do that. Only stuff I've found that's clickable, even though all the levers are modelled, is the safety system stuff, the stuff you actually need. In terms of the cab, you can put the chair back, lift that up. That is the handbrake right there. That's released. The way you know the handbrake's applied is it comes with a right angle like that, so then you can't shut the lid. Now, over into the chair. LVZ system functions as you'd expect. Speedometer functions as you'd expect. Engine start stop. Now I'm going to need my hood. Engine 2. I believe there's two. No, not two engines. I don't know what that one does. That's the second button to stop the engine. I genuinely don't know. Buzzer. I think that's probably just for. No idea. You have to find the check driver for that. If the steps for that one, instrument lighting, cab light off, instrument light on, exterior lights. So this is your front light, what we set up for the drive. So headlights at the front, marker lights at the front. You can then also use this to turn your back lights on, so I want to set those to red, for example. And it affects, I believe, my tail lamp, not the multiple loco. So you can see it automatically just kicks the red lights, and so I don't really know what the use cases. I presume the idea is that you can get, if you're like locoing it about, you don't have to climb into the back cab to flick light switches. It's an efficiency thing. But again, the visuals on there are lovely. What we'll do is we'll knock the lights off when we get, the engine off and stuff when we get to Liberec, which is our next stop after this. Wipers, cab heat, ventilator, throttle. So this throttle's obviously steering wheel, tapper throttle. So you turn it from the 3 notches 1 to 8. 1 click equals 1 notch. LVZ carrier frequency. I set it to 50 just to see if we pick anything up. We don't. Vigilance. Throttle. Train heating control, or train heating level. So it's set to. Oh, that's the wrong way around. There you go. 843 coming in the way. Bubble. Got about a minute until they're going to let us go. So interesting, it's facing Z, which is Z is Zimmer, which translates as cold or winter. And then L is later or summer. But it's, I don't care, we're not using the train heating system anyway. Reading light for the cab. Sander. Vigilance again. Brakes under release. OL2, no idea. Brake cylinder. Brake overcharge button. Obviously you got the key at the back that you saw him key on with. Loco brake. Whistle. So I prefer the whistle and the horn on the 843 sounds, but they're still pretty bob on. Other than that, obviously there's the stuff in the cupboard, so as with most locos, most breakers are flickable, as you can see, so traction motor isolation. I'm not doing that to myself, I need the power today. We'll do that, see what happens. And then you got all your breakers there that do anti-ice and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, we'll close the cupboard up. Get in the chair, because we're clear to go. Handbrake off. There you go. And thingy. Reverse or forward. AMSA building. Let's go. So starting from Sichro, our technical start speed is 75. Again, we're not going to achieve that. Basically, Liberec is about 100 metres higher up than than Turnov, sorry, where we started. So we've got about 100 metres of elevation to gain, but you also go basically over a mountain to get to it. So you do drop down a bit, just not as much as you'd like. Beans. Maximum beans are required. So you can see you got your, obviously on the roof as well, which I'm a big fan of. You've got your coolers, got your rads, and that's open on both locos. So basically the fans, I presume the fans start, and that blows the covers open, which I think is quite a cool way to do it. Yeah, on level ground still. It's fine. Hey, you know what? I'm happy for high-speed running. That's what I'll say. So, just verifying everything. All the brakes are in the correct position. Yes, they are. Keep rocking and rolling. We'll just shut that window just to prevent the wind noise. Being is fucking awful. There you go, just more traction motor sounds now. I do think I might have only been powering up the lead loco previously. Said layoff, it's we're up at 1.1% grade now, so the acceleration will slow. The 95 post I'm looking out for now. But until I see it, I'm at 75, which I think, yeah, we've now caught the gradient. I was genuinely worried I'd massively messed up the first part, but I don't think I did. I'm going to have to use this screenshot from a thumbnail probably, but it's just such a nice loco, this. I can't tell you why I like it, because by my normal metrics of locos, there's my 95 post. It's shit, right? Like, it's gutless. Oh, by the way, the radio, I missed that out. The radio does function. I'm not trained on it, so I've not turned it on. Not taught myself to use it yet, so I just turned it. I'll turn it on just to show you. Also, these cottages here, friggin' iconic. Absolutely iconic. This vibe, everywhere. Fucking everywhere. Yeah. You've got sort of logs with sort of sawdust and wool shoved in the gaps, and then that white stuff, I can't remember what that actually is, but that basically holds it all together. That's the insulation. Genuinely, you know, very interesting building technique. I might, off the back of this, give the Train Sim Classic version of this a whirl. So we have actually driven a 750 on the channel before. Just the re-engined, modernised, digitalised version of this. So what you tend to find with the Czech Railways is they'll modernise stuff to crap and back. So you've got the 750.7s, or 757s, and they are 757. Yeah. Not 757. I'm not American, I speak English, thank you. But so sorry, brain. That's the digital version. Think of this as the analogs. This is what they all started off as, and then some were rebuilt, given a new engine and controlling electronics as part of an upgrade program. That's now finished because, from what I understand, they can't import any more traction engines for them because EU law kicked in. They basically said even those re-engined ones are no longer emissions compliant. I don't have an opinion on that, quite frankly. Okay, I do. It's that, of course, we should strive for better emissions with trains. However, what is better? That the company just goes, well, we'll just run the old ones around instead, or that we have the slightly less ideal ones. That's my 10 cents in terms of what's better for the environment. Yeah. It's 80 for us. We're not even at 70 yet. It's fine. Just sounding my horn coming through here. Got some ES wagons. So the blue one, that is the proper CD cargo livery. I believe CD cargo also sort of stick to vaguely now, but adjacent liveries. One of the things I do like is you can see here cargo. That's the font and text of CD cargo. So basically, what they've done is just removed the cargo logo that they obviously not got permission to use, but left literally the entire rest of the livery there. 70. Crikey, I'm booking it a bit hard there now. Sorry, power off. Like the train got away from me. The problem with these sort of first look adjacent videos, because this isn't a first look, the first look was the 843, but we're still sort of trying to look at the route and show you things about the route that you wouldn't have otherwise seen. You know, the balls. What? The balls? What balls? But it's very easy to balls it up because there is a reason in real life in the UK. You're not like I work in the railway industry. We literally just got an email out today to say we're not even allowed in non-driving cabs, which we never were. I never do it without invite of the train manager or of the relevant competent staff member. But yeah, it's like so serious, like how much we can't break the focus. Like I would never go in the driving cab of the train. There have been some fairly high-profile incidents recently where that was a contributing factor, or thought to be a contributing factor, and I just wouldn't do it. Right? It's not worth the risk. And there's a reason drivers aren't sitting there trying to make a YouTube video live commentating the driving. Or sort of flying on going, look at that over there, they're actually focusing on the driving. If I just shut up and drove the train, or even just spoke and drove the train, it would actually go okay. That's why most of my UK stuff on the routes that have been out a while is fine. There's no more prep done for it, but it's just, yeah. So it was Hodkovice station. Hodkovice. Yeah, both locos powering away there. Working very hard. Keep us going. Hear the flaps on that as well. That's flat. All your flats. Right, just sort of arcing on tight curves here. Obviously, I think got like a bit of high speed flanging there, but flanging sounds would be great. I know that it's got bogies, so it doesn't make too much, but there will be some sort of audio from the train going through such a tight curve. Also, when I'm in such a tight cutting, tell the game it's a tunnel, so it gives you tunnel audio. That will be quite good as well. It would actually be really interesting to try and do this in a 66. I'm not sure that's a video, but just the sort of do this service but with the 66 basically, and on a similar load, and just see how it does, how it compares. Because these do feel quite gutless to me, but I've got no comparison for them, you know what I mean? The 66s tend to put, the current generation tends to pull quite well. So just to show you on the map where we are, so you can see we go under chicane here, and that's where the sort of break sits out. We break the back of it and we start going downhill into Liberec. So that's Turnov, that's where we started our journey today. This is our sort of chicane route we're doing on freight, and this was what we did with the 843. You can see there's a lot more sort of straight lines on that, like, than there are on here. The fastest speed we actually get today is 80. So, well, technically there's the 100, but we had no hope of reaching that. Had we been like local, we might have managed it, but like with the train on, no. Ugh. There you go, and this is... So yeah, that's also a really strange thing about the Czechs, like railway way of doing things. Is you end up with logs loaded into gondola wagons, or tipler wagons. Rychnov u Jablonce nad Nisou. So, language. This actually covers quite a bit of interesting Czech stuff. So, Rychnov u Jablonce nad Nisou. Instead of y, ch instead of ch, t instead of k. That is Czech pronunciation. Basic, well, the fun part to it at least. Liberec, Turnov, Praha. Love to go see Prague and trains well. Praha Hlavní nádraží, which we've been to, well, we're going to in a couple of weeks, as part of R610. I'm hoping to be able to do the full run of R610, like the full 4 hours. That'd be quite fun. In fact, hang on. I'll preview a screenshot, because I've got the scenario's work in progress, but I just have massive stability issues with Vectrons, which is the same as... Shut up! There you go. That's your preview for what part 2 of that video could be. I genuinely don't know if that's going to be a video yet. I hope it is. Yeah, we are in the 80 legally, so I'm not too worried about speed. I'm doing an overtime shift today. I kind of regret it. I'm just so I'm doing it basically. It's a good little shift, good little money spinner. Going busy on the way down, not too bad on the way back. We're going to Newcastle. It's Peterborough from Newcastle. We take a 10 car down. 10 cars are never bad, and then it's a 9 car back, which is the empty part. But it's free money basically, as I look at it. Normally, you know, I'm like, there's nothing's coming out, no video games I want to play. might as well just go to work and do money, or make money. But on here, on here, Brain. Like at the moment, there's loads of stuff out that I actually want to enjoy and play, and yeah, like it's just typical, isn't it? Really. I'm not saying they're wrong, but that doesn't feel right for some reason, and I can't. I'm tempted to say it's the trussle that's throwing me off. So, yeah, that perfect. That feels weird. These are also fucking everywhere in the woods. That is a hide for hunters. So just to show you on the map again where we are. What's this? Yes. This is Yermanita. So we bomb through there. And then there's a 75 we need to be aware of. So we are going to make 80, finally. Finally some chat, eh? So this is the fastest we're going to travel in today's video, so enjoy this for the, like, 2 minutes at last. So it's not a fast route, this. Considering this, I don't actually feel too bad that I'm doing some pretty fast runs in upcoming content. 85, oh god, that's beans. Let's go for the beans. Beans. Maximise beans. Beans, maximise beans. No, going back uphill again, so that's 76, 77, that's as fast as it's going to, I think. I will try and get one of these up to 100s, or like on a route where it makes sense for one of these to be, and for it to be doing 100. So weirdly, 750's actually made it to Italy. So there's some really strange photos of Czech locos. These and the Pershings are run in Italy. So Regiojet, that's where they actually got their initial locomotives from. Was from Italia. And they're also refitted to run faster than the standard 163s, which is quite fun. So it's an 80 again, so really we're never going to get to 85. We'll see what happens as an 85, right. Be mindful there's a 75 not that far after the station here at Yermanita. Give horns because we're coming through. Again, remote stations, I always tend to hit horns because there's not as many movements, so statistically there's not as many passengers, so therefore there's not as many accidents. However, if you think there's no train coming, you will like try and cross the lines and stuff. So hitting the horns or a whistle as I come off a curve is sensible. I've decided I'm just going to restrain myself to 80. That's cool. First I've noticed there's something up on top of that mountain. It'll be like an observatory or something. There we go, 75. I'll coast for now. There's a 75. Put a bit of power on just to maintain beans. Just sort of moving between 74 and 5. Take the power fully off and I'll let the revs drop. So now an idle revs on the engine. So quick gauge tour, we've not covered that yet. Ammeter, RPM gauge, oil temperature, engine temperature, try again, oil pressure, oil temperature, engine temperature. No idea, basically that's your standard brake gauges. And then you've got an iPad holder there as well. Uh-oh, it's getting away from me, we're going down the hill now. There's my 80 post. 85. I'm just going to coaster here. You're constantly just hitting that Q key on these. So it's just not picked the code up for the entire journey for the signals. So it's supposed to illuminate and tell me what the next upcoming signal is, and then do vigilance checks based off that. So in the UK, you get 30 seconds no matter what. In this, it doesn't ask for vigilance if it knows you're on a green. So if it's like green light, cool. You know, cool potatoes basically. It's fine with you. But if you are on there we go, brakes from release. If you are on adverse signals, it starts requesting the vigilance more and more. And if it can't protect you in terms of telling what the next signals are and enforcing speed checks based off that, it will then just vigilance check you constantly as you're getting here. It is literally 4 seconds. 4 seconds, vigilance check, vigilance. You know what I mean? It's just constant. And that's a good point. There's the morning duty manager going, right, I'm at work now. Have you thought about filling your employee survey? And I'm like, I filled it in, David. Shush. No, it's not just sent to me, it's sent to the entire depot. But there's an annual survey that goes out, and I filled it in on the first day in the vague hope I wouldn't get reminder emails. No, I do. Multiple times a day, every bloody day. Apologies for slowing a little early there. But we are in Liberec itself now. Yeah, so I slowed a bit prematurely for the 60. It's a kilometre to run now to the 60. And then at the 60 we slowed to 40, because there's a 40 in the yard. And then we're finally in Liberec from all the way from Starapac, and we've completed the run. Definitely felt like I had a lot more spirited departure from Sikroff than I have before. I will test it just to see if I go up the incline any better. Might be a bonus bit bolt onto the back of this video. Was it selection bias, or was it Emily just not knowing what she's talking about? Or was it both? Also, those chimneys are fucking everywhere. That the red and white stripes halfway up them. Yeah, that's a thing. I do wish it was like there's branding on these things, the car wash and stuff, because that would add a lot of character. I understand probably why they didn't. Vector Sim Arena, I like that a lot. But you can put basically like things that got WH Smith branding on Great Western Express, and that's not because WH Smith's agreed to be in the game. It's because basically the interpretation of the legal team was you can put logos in of other companies as long as you don't promote it. So it's like none of the PR screenshots of Reading Station like there's a WH Smith because then WH Smith's got the legal case to go. You're promoting that we're in the game, therefore we add value to the game. Therefore, give us money for our IP. That's the red and cream. That's what the one of the alternative liveries. That's the first time I've seen it grab a code, and that was for my end road there. End of the road there, sorry, but we've got a while until we. So you can see a little MPD here at Liberec. So he's shunting, so he's got weird headlight setups. He's got white at both ends for the shunt. Rag it. It's a good way to see it from here is obviously the number you see is the power notch that you're in. Bear in mind that the back of the train's still barely in the yard. I'm not stopping it. We are just going to pretend there's a driver literally standing in the in like next to the signal waiting for us. Who's going to take it off us? Oh my god! I'm going to call it that. I'm just going to put the brake on and we're going to stop here. A little bit short of where we'd want to be, but we'll say this is where the relief driver's waiting for us. That'll do. Mind a bit of speeding, but you know what? It happens when you're doing these sorts of runs. I'll take that. We will neutralise everything. Oh, he's attached some BTNs and he's on his way. Well, we salute our colleague in his coffin on his way off to. Oh my god, I'm fucking stationary. Shut the. I can't drive it out. It's not me who's in charge anymore. Hashtag not my train, not my problem. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, hit the subscribe button to see more from me. I do a train sim video every Monday. I do variety gaming other days of the week. It's been Totemosh. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Goodbye.